Hello, welcome once again, and in this occasion we are going to talk about two-dimensional nanostructures for textiles. Well, as we said previously, when we are talking about two-dimensional nanostructures, we are talking about nanofibers, okay? And in this case, the nanofibers are used to obtain, for example, non-wovens, felts, mats, okay? They are not going to be used as one fiber or as a monofilament nanometric, okay? We use them in a structure that is usually called non-woven or made of nanofibers. Here we can observe one of the properties that we are going to study concisely because, for example, in this picture we can compare a felt of nanofibers with, for example, a pollen particle, okay, a pollen grain, or a human hair. You can compare which are the size that we are talking, okay, and then it is obvious that when we use that kind of structures for textile, it is not going to be very hard or resist too much. So usually what we use is what we have defined as a non-woven of nanofibers, okay, represented here or this image. But it is really strange that we are going to be able to use that kind of nanofibers in this shape because it is too weakened, okay, and then it's not going to be easy to manipulate, easy to treat, easy to use. So usually when we use nanofibers, we use them supported by, for example, a conventional non-woven. Here we've got an image in the microscope of a conventional non-woven, and in this case it has been treated with nanofibers which have been covered in this image. Okay, we can observe it here. So those two images are made with optical microscope so that we wanted you to observe the conventional fibers and the nanofibers over or covering the non-woven, conventional non-woven. Well, how can we use the nanofibers? Usually we need a support, okay? And then in this image you can observe that in this way, without anything to give it any consistency, is not going to be able to use. But for example, we can use them covering a non-woven, as we said previously, covering a fiber, or even we can include it inside one of the fibers. Okay? So we can obtain a conventional fiber, and inside this fiber we include the nanofibers. Okay, regarding to the two-dimensional nanostructures used for textile, we can say that we can observe a wide variety in the composition of these nanofibers. Okay, for example, we can observe polyvinyl alcohol, polyamide, polyaniline, polylactic acid, polycaprolactone, silica, microfibrillated cellulose, peptides and proteins, zinc oxide, and we have a wide variety of them. And we also can cite or give a special attention to carbon nanofibers or carbon nanotubes. Usually the abbreviation is CNT, okay? And we can observe that when we have a layer of the graphene that we saw previously, we can take the layer and make it with the shape of a tube, and then we convert it into a nanofiber, a carbon nanofiber. But in this case, we can observe two different options. We can observe that we have the chance to obtain a single wall carbon nanotube, that it is only one tube, but we can obtain also multiple wall carbon nanotube. This means that we can have different concentric tubes in the shape of one unique tube. Okay? So this is something that we can observe, and that are nanotubes, nanofibers, nano whiskers, or nano belts that are used on the textile industry. Okay? So with this, we have studied what kind of products we can obtain from two-dimensional nanostructures, and in the next videos we are going to study their properties. Thank you very much for your attention.